Spy Classroom Volume 3 Review. The anime adaptation for Spy Classroom has been slated for next year. As the buzz for the series continues to rise, Yen Press is continuing to bring the light novels to the English market. Now with Volume 3 in hand, let's find out what's in store for this ragtag spy team. Readers may remember that back in Volume 2, Claus decided to split Team Lamplight in two and send Lily, Greta, Sarah, and Sibilla off to defeat an assassin who was going after a notable politician. Volume 3 follows the other group, which is composed of Thea, who gets the coveted position as leader, Monica, Erna, and Annette. However, instead of taking place at the same time as Volume 2, it skips past the mission to girls, where instead we're going to join them when they're on a post-mission vacation, but just before the group are due to return home. They run into a woman who claims to be Anne's mother, Matilda, and she's in trouble. Anne has no memories of her past, but will this reunion help her clear her amnesia, and if so, is she willing to turn her back into spy life to a life leaving her mother? Anne is a genius inventor in the group, and her gadgets have helped the team out of a bad situation more than once. So naturally, Thea and the others don't want to see her leave her side. Monica is also worried that Matilda isn't who she claims to be, not helped by the fact that a little digging into her story reveals that she has been telling the girls the whole truth about what she is in town. The creators create a rift in the team, with Thea and Erna wanting Anne to spend some time reconnecting with her mother, and Monica wanted to get out of the area as soon as possible, fearing nothing good can come of all this. So on the wall, Volume 3 is less like a spy novel than the first two books. We do get to see the girls in action a few times throughout the story, but it's fair to say that the focus this time around is on developing Annette and Thea as their characters. That's not a bad thing provided you have some attachment to these two, which will vary based on how much you care for them back in Volume 1, or at least a passing interest. I'm not a huge fan of Thea since she's a bit normal compared to the eccentric and bubbly personalities of the other members of the cast, but I'm quite fond of Annette. It's hard not to grow attached when she comes up with such interesting gadgets and has such a mysterious air to her, thanks to her amnesia. What also doesn't help this time around is that the story is quite predictable, something author Takemachi has managed to avoid up until now. I'm not sure that's a huge negative for me in the grand scheme of things, but it is a shame. But until now, readers were left guessing as to how the story was going to play out up until the last chapter or two. The good news is that during the course of these three books, we managed to get to know all the characters quite well on an individual level, which I hope gets the payoff if it deserves it in the books to come. At the very least, if they get thrown together into one team for a new mission, it'll be easier to keep track of who's who and what powers they wield. Interestingly, Takemachi writes in the afterword that Volume 4 is the end of Season 1 of Spy Classroom, so I certainly have my hopes up for it to prove an excellent conclusion after all this setup. As previously mentioned, Spy Classroom Volume 3 comes to the West, thanks to Yen Press, and continues to be translated by Nathaniel Trasher. As with the previous releases, the translation works well with no issues to note. Volume 4 of the series is currently scheduled for an English release in September. Overall, Spy Classroom Volume 3 leans more into being a character drama than does a spy series this time around. Given the predictable plot doesn't offer a great hook, your enjoyment this one is going to depend how much you like the two leads and the development they receive. 7 out of 10.